Hey guys.
Very disturbing to hear these things or to kind of see some of the receipts that appear to be connected to it. And I think the taxpayers really deserve better than that.
Buckle up, because we're about to dive headfirst into the wildest mayoral race you've ever seen. Tiffany Henyard, the self-proclaimed super mayor of Dolton, Illinois, is running for re-election. And let us tell you, it's a train wreck of epic proportions. Think reality TV meets a political thriller, with a dash of utter chaos thrown in for good measure. Prepare to be shocked. Polls show her support has plummeted to a measly single-digit percentage. Seriously, folks, we're talking about a mayor who's facing an FBI investigation, an eviction lawsuit, and the near-universal disdain of her constituents. And she thinks she's got a shot at winning. This isn't just a political race, it's a desperate bid for survival.
I got smoked pork ham hocks. I got smoked turkey.
Henyard's campaign is less a strategic masterclass and more a bizarre performance art piece. Remember those infamous turkey giveaways leading up to Thanksgiving? While some residents appreciated the gesture, critics saw it as a transparent attempt to distract from the township's mounting financial woes. Why is there such a desperation to get us to a meeting? Questioned trustee Christopher Gonzalez, highlighting the deliberate attempts by Henyard to push through agenda items without a quorum. The turkey giveaway, pure political theater.
Dane Placco. Tiffany Henyard actually has two political jobs on two public payrolls, as mayor of South Suburban Dolton, or as she calls herself,
and the snow removal efforts. Let's just say they weren't exactly award-winning. Dolton residents were left to navigate treacherous icy streets, while Henyard seemingly spent more time on social media than on addressing the crisis. This wasn't just incompetence. It was a blatant disregard for the safety and well-being of her constituents.
It looks like a misspending of tax funds. I think that's the biggest concern.
Then there's her relationship with local churches and businesses. To put it mildly, it's strained. Numerous business owners have complained about Henyard's obstructive tactics, making it nearly impossible to obtain permits or licenses. One trucking company owner, Lawrence Gardner, claimed his business was shut down after he refused to make a substantial contribution to Henyard's campaign war chest. "What is she, Nino Brown?" he exclaimed, drawing a comparison to the notorious substance kingpin from the movie New Jack City. This isn't just bad governance, it's outright intimidation. The public outrage is palpable. Dolton residents are fed up. They're tired of the constant drama, the financial mismanagement, and the general sense of neglect that has permeated the town under Henyard's leadership. This is an embarrassment to Dolton. Why won't you step down? One resident shouted during a public meeting, a sentiment echoed by many others. They're not just unhappy, they're furious. She's power hungry. She doesn't care how much she bleeds an area out of resources, one resident said, expressing the widespread feeling of betrayal.
Investigations from federal entities. Those entities, as we know, can take anywhere from 2 months to 5 years. We feel this option will give us.
And then there's the FBI investigation. It's the elephant in the room, the looming specter that hangs over every aspect of Henyard's re-election bid. Federal agents have served subpoenas, seeking records related to Dolton and Thornton Township's finances. The allegations are serious, ranging from misuse of taxpayer funds to questionable contracts. Henyard has vehemently denied any wrongdoing, but the investigation continues, casting a long shadow over her political future. This isn't just about winning an election, it's about avoiding potential criminal charges. The situation in Dolton is a perfect storm of political dysfunction, financial mismanagement, and public outrage. Henyard's re-election bid is a desperate attempt to cling to power, to avoid the consequences of her actions. But the residents of Dolton, weary of her antics and tired of her empty promises, are ready for a change. One YouTube commenter aptly summarized the situation. The key is for the residents to get out and vote. She only won by just over a few hundred votes last time. This highlights the precariousness of Henyard's position. Her previous victory was razor thin, suggesting that a mobilized electorate could easily unseat her. Another comment underscored the broader implications of Henyard's actions. This is an embarrassment to the election officials of Illinois. Why other high-ranking officials would let this happen? This speaks to the systemic failures that allowed Henyard to rise to power and maintain her position, despite the numerous red flags. The question remains, how did things get this far?
Dawn and Scott, the meeting wrapped up early because two trustees, as you mentioned, did not show up. Chris Gonzalez and Carmen Carlisle. Without them, not enough board members were present to make official decisions.
The ongoing legal battles, the mounting financial problems, and the sheer public animosity toward Henyard make her re-election prospects incredibly slim. Her attempts to deflect blame onto others, her bizarre campaign tactics, and her blatant disregard for the concerns of her constituents have only fueled the flames of public anger. This isn't just a political race, it's a referendum on her entire tenure.
If the board do not show up, we are not able to pay bills, we are not able to handle the business.
And let's not forget the eviction lawsuit. Henyard and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, are facing eviction due to unpaid rent. Their landlord, Janetta Hull, a former friend of Henyard's, described the situation as a very hard position. I'm between a rock and a hard place. This seemingly minor detail underscores the larger picture of Henyard's disregard for responsibility and accountability. It's a microcosm of her leadership style, chaotic, irresponsible, and ultimately self-serving. Beyond the financial scandals and public disapproval, Henyard's leadership style has been described as autocratic and confrontational. Multiple sources have reported instances where she has used the police department to intimidate opponents and silence dissent. One Dolton trustee, Kiana Belcher, claimed that former Dolton Police Chief Robert Collins admitted to being directed by Henyard to target specific individuals. These allegations paint a picture of a mayor who was more interested in maintaining power than in serving the needs of her community. The constant presence of a large security detail, often paid for with taxpayer money, further underscores this perception of a mayor who prioritizes her own safety and security over the needs of her constituents. The sheer cost of this security detail, reportedly exceeding $1 million, is a staggering sum for a small town already struggling financially.
You must show up to your scheduled board meetings. I don't care if you agree or disagree, but you must show up to say yes or no, or vote present.
The irony of Henyard's situation is not lost on her constituents. While she postures as a strong leader, her actions consistently undermine her credibility. The lavish spending, the questionable contracts, the constant legal battles, all of these contribute to a perception of a mayor who is out of touch with the realities faced by the average Dolton resident. The fact that she is simultaneously running for re-election while facing eviction for unpaid rent only serves to amplify this perception of hypocrisy. It's a stark contrast between her self-proclaimed image of a powerful and effective leader and the reality of a mayor who is struggling to manage her own personal finances, let alone the finances of her town. This dissonance between her public persona and her private life further erodes any remaining public trust. The recent court reversals of some of Henyard's staffing decisions further highlight the erosion of her authority. A Cook County court invalidated her appointments of Michael Smith as executive assistant and the special counsel. This is not a minor setback, it's a significant blow to her already fragile power base. It demonstrates the extent to which her decisions are being questioned and challenged, not just by the public, but by the courts themselves.
I don't even like to use the term stopping the meeting. We just want to get some responsible adults, communication and try to do the right thing by the citizens.
The canceled Thornton Township meetings due to trustee absences also speak volumes. The deliberate actions of trustees Gonzalez and Carlisle to deny Henyard a quorum reveal a deep-seated distrust and a determination to prevent her from pushing through her agenda. Their decision to wait until the time limit for Henyard to appoint a replacement for the vacant trustee seat demonstrates a strategic approach to thwarting her attempts to consolidate power. The fact that these meetings repeatedly fail to achieve a quorum underscores the extent of the division and the lack of trust within the township board.
The election is not until 2025, yet Tiffany Henyard has officially decided she wants to stay as mayor despite the cloud of controversy surrounding her.
The incident where Henyard called the police on workers removing banners featuring her image is another example of her erratic behavior. The vendor's claim of being owed a significant sum of money further highlights the financial mismanagement and questionable spending practices that have plagued her administration. The fact that Henyard reacted so strongly to the removal of her own promotional materials suggests a deep-seated insecurity and a desperate need for self-promotion. This incident is not merely a minor dispute, it's a symbolic representation of her leadership style, impulsive, authoritarian, and ultimately self-destructive. The ongoing tension between Henyard and the Dolton Village Board of Trustees is a constant source of drama. The public meetings have become battlegrounds, with residents grilling Henyard about her spending habits and her leadership style. The fact that these meetings are often disrupted, delayed, or even canceled speaks to the deep-seated division and the lack of trust within the village government. This isn't just a political disagreement, it's a full-blown crisis of governance.
Now to important business in Thornton Township, which hit a roadblock tonight, not because of the weather, not because of logistics, but because two trustees refused to show up.
The state agency's warning about the legality of Henyard's police chief appointment is another major blow to her authority. The fact that Ronald Burge Sir is considered inactive due to missing paperwork and lack of recent requalification raises serious questions about Henyard's judgment and her ability to effectively manage the village's affairs. This is not a mere administrative oversight, it's a serious breach of protocol that could have significant legal ramifications. The fact that Dolton trustees are considering further legal action underscores the gravity of the situation. The constant back and forth between Henyard and her opponents, the legal challenges, the financial woes, and the pervasive public discontent create a narrative that is both compelling and deeply unsettling. It's a story of a mayor who has lost the trust of her constituents, who is facing a potential criminal investigation, and who is clinging to power with a desperate, almost frantic grip. The question remains, will the residents of Dolton finally have their voices heard, or will Henyard manage to pull off the impossible, clinging to her position despite the overwhelming odds? So, what do you think? Will Henyard's desperate gambit pay off? Or is this the end of the road for the super mayor? Will the FBI investigation finally bring her down, or will she somehow manage to wriggle out of it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more juicy celebrity gossip. Until next time, stay tuned.